Well, it was good at the beginning of 2020 and 2021, you know, those years. Well, they're no longer good for you to kick off 2022. We've changed, and the pandemic was just the beginning. Hollywood media coach and body language expert Jess Ponce says this is now a new normal. We've heard that phrase, and it's here to stay. Aloha. Thanks for joining us today, Jess.
Aloha. I am so happy to be here because, you know, we can't approach 2022 in the same way. I think 2021 was a lot of like we were waiting. You know, we were holding our breath because we kept thinking that something was going to change. And even as we entered into this year, we're finding that because of the new variants, we're changing plans. I know in Hollywood right now, we're canceling different events because we don't want to put people at risk.
Of course. Now, you've said 2022 is a year of SASS, S-A-S-S. Can you tell us what that stands for and why it's so important?
Okay, so SASS, you know, in addition to being sassy, we want to be slow, we want to be steady, and we want to be selfish.
Oh, we do. Can you explain that? Because we're thinking that selfish is a bad thing and a bad negative connotation.
Yes, absolutely. So let's start with slow, because when we are slow, we are able to be in the things that we want to change. For example, a lot of people have New Year's resolutions where I want to lose like 30 pounds.
Right.
Well, that's a huge goal. And trust me, I relate because I'd like to lose 30 pounds. But if we broke down in bite-sized pieces and we were able to have wins along the way in a slow fashion, we're more likely to succeed. So, for example, what if in Q1 I want to lose 7 pounds?
Okay,
now,
doable.
that seems more approachable. And even if you just lose 5, you're already in a win. You're in a situation where you are going forward. What happened, I think, in 2021 is that we were forced to be slow.
Sure.
We had to wait. And now if we choose to be slow in our own way, we have a little bit more control.
I know, Jess, if I got a dime or every time people told me to slow down, I would be a rich woman. I could probably not work again. But let's go back to the selfish point, because that's an important notion that you want to tell our viewers about.
Yes, so self, S-E-L-F, a lot of us think is a 4-letter word in the sort of traditional sense, because we are taught either culturally, our family, or we see things in the media where people are completely selfish. And it's such bad role modeling that we put ourselves last. And the reality is, when you are selfish, you are not being rude, or you're not taking other people into consideration. In fact, it's like the airlines. If you are able to take care of yourself, you can take care of others in a better way. So make yourself a priority. Don't put yourself last all the time. Even if it's just once a week, choose a day or something where you're doing something and you're activating yourself in a way that inspires you, that gives you energy for the rest of the week.
That's great. We were just talking with self-care with Ho'ala Salon and Spa here recently the other day. But we're in this world of Zoom. We like it for things like this. But why is it important to be engaged? Because we have lost a lot of that face-to-face interaction because of social distancing.
Well, it's a new form of engagement because while the media may be different, you're still talking to another human being. So, for example, when you're on a stage, right, and you're a speaker, it seems completely intimidating. But the dynamic is you're really connecting with somebody in the audience. So if you've ever heard a good speaker or even a good performer, they're able to relate to the other person on the other side through empathy, through storytelling, and that's the same thing that we're doing via Zoom. Now, there are some people who are still resistant about Zoom. It's like when social media first came out and people were like, oh, I'm not going to be engaged in social media. Well, that's not really an option, because if you're not out there, then you're hiding something. The reality is with Zoom, we are all on it, and embrace it and find a way where you are comfortable. Now, if you're feeling stagnant or sterile, you know, you can change up your environment so that you're looking at something different. Like right now, I'm looking at Pearl Harbor, which is beautiful, and that's right in the windows behind me. So my change of scenery being in Hawaii versus Los Angeles is giving me a lot of energy and engagement.
Oh, we love that, too. Now, I want to reach those people who are maybe living solo, feeling a little bit of despair. What can they do to stop from feeling so stagnant?
Well, I think one of the things that you want to be able to do is to take control of the situation, right? Because 2021 was one of those years where we felt completely out of control. As I just mentioned, if you change your environment, if you get a new picture, you rearrange the furniture, maybe new curtains, or just do something that makes you feel better, that makes you feel like you've changed your environment. I know that that seems like, oh, well, what about changing your hair? You know, that's sort of the same thing. You know, you change your hair, you look at yourself differently every day. The same thing, if you're in a space where you feel stagnated, do something different because our environment really impacts us.
Oh, I love that too, and we want to get people started on their goals. Where can they find out more information and some of your great media coaching and body language tips, Jess?
Well, thank you very much for asking. Go to jp3globalmedia.com. I have lots of stuff there, or you can follow me on Instagram at Jess Ponce.
All right, I love it. Now, just be honest out there. I know when we did a lot of Zooms at home, are you professionally dressed from head to toe? Because sometimes we do the things too. Are you wearing like board shorts and slippers?
Oh, I'm wearing shorts, but they match. I don't know if I can show you, but
there we go. I love it. That's honest and everything.
that's just because, you know, I'm going out in my day after this and taking advantage of the beautiful island.
I love it. Aloha. Enjoy the rest of your stay. Thank you for all the tips. We'll put all that information on KHON2.com.